Hey guys, how's it going? In this video I'm going to be reviewing the Blackberry Z30. This device here was given to me by Telus, so a huge shout out to them for hooking me up with this. First of all, let's take a look at the hardware on the phone. Now on the very top front is where you'd find the 2 megapixel front facing camera along with the notification light. On the very left is the HDMI port along with the USB port. On the right you'd find 2 microphones, the volume buttons along with a dedicated pause and play button. On the top is the 3.5mm headphone jack along with the power button. There is absolutely nothing on the very bottom of the device. The Z30 has a plastic back which is removable, and inside there is where you'd find the huge 2880 mAh battery. It's where you'd find the 8 megapixel camera along with LED flash, and it's also where the micro SD card slot is, and I believe where the micro SIM slot is as well. The Z30 is running a 1.7 GHz dual-core Qualcomm Snapdragon Pro processor. It has the Adreno 320 graphics card. It also has 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of onboard storage, and on the software side of things, it's running BlackBerry's latest BB10 OS. Now, if you haven't noticed already, the Z30 has a huge 5-inch Super AMOLED screen. It has a pixel per inch density of 294. Now, in my opinion, this is a very decent screen. It has good viewing angles, it produces good colors, and overall, it's very nice. Now, the Z30 is made out of some really nice plastic material. It feels very solid in the hand, but something I didn't like though was that it's somewhere on the heavier and bulkier side. It's about as heavy as the Note 3 and it's also thicker than it, despite the fact that the Note 3 has a bigger battery and a bigger screen as well, so that's something that I didn't like. Now on the software side of things, BB10 OS has some features and some things that make it stand out, which we'll be taking a look at. Now the first feature, which is my personal favorite, was the ability to unlock your device by doing a simple gesture without pressing or holding the power button. The next feature is called Blackberry Hub. Now your hub is basically where all your information such as email, BBM, messages, Twitter, Facebook, all that good stuff is going to be neatly organized in your hub. There's also something called Priority Hub, which learns over time on who you talk to more and it places it right there. Next up, you have something called active frames. Now these are very similar to widgets. They actually get replaced by another app that you open before them. They're actually running right there in the background, so whatever app you open or close, it's going to be right there doing the same function you left it to do. So if you were playing a video, it's still going to be playing right there on the home screen. You probably have BBM on your Android or iOS device. Now what you find here on the Z30 is pretty much the same experience, although you are missing out on some features such as voice calling, video calling, and screen sharing, which is the ability to share your screen with another BlackBerry device, and I found that to be very cool. There's also this really nice feature on the lock screen which basically turns your phone into a clock. You can also turn off the notifications and also toggle the alarm from within that. Now the camera app on the Z30 was very basic. I believe it's the same app on the Q10 and the Z10. You can set your aspect ratio of the picture, you can turn flash on and off. There are some preset modes you can choose and set. You can't actually edit or set the exposure or anything. You can touch the focus, and it relatively took decent photos and it wasn't too bad at all. Typing was something I really enjoyed on the Z30. It pretty much predicted every single next word that I wanted to write, which is very cool and very good. It was one of my best experiences I've had on a smartphone, and all this is thanks to SwiftKey. I also played a few games on the Z30, and overall I can say that I'm very impressed in the gaming department, because over here I'm playing Real Racing 3, which is a high graphic intensive game. It does lag on some devices, but on the Z30 it is smooth. Now with that being said, you can pretty much get the idea that this device is very fast, very snappy, and handles almost anything you throw at it. This is by far the most fluid experience I've had of BB10 OS on a BB10 device. Some new apps have now been finally made available for the BB10 OS. Apps such as Flipboard, which is a magazine-style newsreader, is available for download. Skype is now also on board, which is a huge plus, and I've said this before, I'll say this again. BB10 OS is one of the best and most smoothest operating systems I've come to use. What I think it's lacking is apps. Once they get more apps, they're pretty much good to stay ahead or at least get somewhere in between the competition. Anyways guys, that's pretty much it for the review. If you liked it, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and do subscribe to stay tuned to more of my stuff. If you're looking for the BlackBerry Q10 or Z10 reviews, they too would be right in the description box below. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section or follow me on Google+, Twitter, and Instagram, and I'll see you guys in the next one.